much fire comes out of this thing?
I haven't seen fire.
Mine shoots fire. I don't know what you're doing wrong. Hey, my name is Adam Carolla. You may know me as a podcaster, comedian, TV host, author, but my main passion in life is cars. Vintage race cars and vintage racing. So I decided to take a trip to jolly old England and attend the 2016 Goodwood Festival of Speed. You'll get to ride shotgun with me as I roll through the sights and sounds of vintage cars. And most importantly, I'm going to be racing my vintage Paul Newman Trans Am race car in the hill climb. So let's get to it. Goodwood is located in the English countryside about 2 hours outside of London, a few minutes from a small village called Chichester. Once a year, Goodwood springs to life with the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Over 150,000 people attend over the weekend, and it can be best described as a vintage car Woodstock. I've done a lot of vintage events all over the country, but I've never done the hill climb before. It's essentially a 1.5 mile sprint up a very narrow hill, and you gotta go as fast as humanly possible. The car I'll be racing is Paul Newman's 1987 Nissan 300ZX Turbo. It was restored in England, and I'm actually going to see it now for the first time. Let's hope it works. Jeff?
Hi there.
Hey, Adam Carolla.
How do you do?
So you built this car. It looks a lot like my 88 sister car. This is the 87 3-liter, single turbo, probably 650 horsepower.
It depends on how much you want to turn it up, but yeah, 650.
You could spool it up to 750 probably. So this is a beautiful, fresh, proper British nut and bolt restoration. Got a V6.
Yep.
Single overhead. Here's our plenum.
Yep.
Here's our intercooler.
Intercooler there, yeah.
Radiators should be split.
Radiators over there, yeah.
Just on one side.
Just on one side, yeah. Just a huge one over this side.
Oh, see, on my car, I split them. There's one on each side. Yep. Here's the exhaust header.
Yeah.
Feeds the turbo down there.
Single turbo down there.
Single turbo, 2 wastegates. How much fire comes out of this thing?
I haven't seen fire.
Mine shoots fire.
Okay.
I don't know what you're doing wrong.
Get it cranked up a bit more.
Yeah, that'd be nice. This is almost mid-engine because it's almost behind the front axle, right? Yeah. And adjustable sway bar.
Adjustable, yeah.
Which I'm not going to touch.
Yeah.
All right.
Front and rear.
Well, let's drop the bonnet.
Yeah. Hood.
Hood. The seat is a little bit different. My headrest says PLN embroidered in red, white, and blue. This one, obviously, you ripped it off and put this cheap replacement on here, right, Jeff? Sold it on eBay?
Couldn't possibly say.
Mine has a white roll bar, all white chassis. This is an all blue chassis. And now what we've learned is the radiators. They split them instead of sliding it over and putting an oil cooler. But everything else is the same, and you've done just an amazing job. When I bought the car, the guy you worked for, Don Law, was very specific about telling me it has had a proper English restoration, not one of the ones you Yanks do with a rattle can and needle nose pliers. He said it about 3 times. I was offended about 2.5 times into it.
And then you got used to it.
Then I got used to it. So it was a proper English restoration on a proper Japanese car that was built in the United States.
Yeah.
Campaigned by Paul Newman in the 87 Trans Am and GT1 series. Newman owned this one himself. So this is a car that Paul bought and went out racing after he'd sort of was semi-retired. When you got it, what kind of shape was it in?
Well, it was complete, but it was very, very shabby.
You had to take this car and just get it all the way down to the chassis.
The bare chassis and start again.
Bare chassis and just start again. All right, I'm gonna attempt to get in this car. I'll take the wheel off. Like the pack. Paul was a smaller man. So Jeff, I've never driven in this event before.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it because I was drunk.
Okay.
But I was technically here. At least that's what they tell me. So I've never driven here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. It's a hill climb.
Yeah.
Is it a mile long?
It's about a mile long.
About a mile long. Yeah. It's just a timed event. They stage you up, you go in line.
Yeah, drive down the sector to the start line, and then you just sit in a queue until the marshals know the track is clear, and then they'll give you a flag and you're off.
They let cars go every minute or something like that?
It's every 30 seconds, I believe.
Oh no, I'm getting lapped.
Well,
Let's get someone slow behind me.
The similar cars in the same batch.
Oh,
so
okay.
you're not going up there with 1908 Renaults or Formula One cars.
I've never driven in the rain before, so that's going to be a challenge.
That'll be a challenge, yeah. It's quite slippy here when it rains, and we've had quite a lot of rain here.
And the problem is the car's a big turbo car,
Yeah.
which makes it tricky.
And the road has got a lot of crown to it for water drainage. So it makes cars, particularly stiff cars like this, feel quite spooky. Because you're forever off camber, whatever you do.
Right. You want to stay down the middle?
Yeah, if you can.
If you can. You still go out, come in and apex the turns, treat it like it's a regular racetrack.
Yeah, I've never driven fast up in myself, so I'm not the best person to speak to there.
All right. Well, that's what I'm looking for, the worst person to speak to about going up the hill.
But there's a particular left-hander called Malcolm that catches everybody out. It's the first major left-hander.
So people just go too fast down the straightaway. They don't get down enough.
And the proximity of the wall, the flint wall.
Literally just a rock wall?
It's made of jagged bits of flint, concreted together to form a wall. You wouldn't want to brush your shoulder up it walking.
Yeah,
You certainly want to brush your car up it.
My problem's with my arms. There's a tilting the pedals. I don't know if they're adjustable or not.
We could adjust the pedals a bit if
You
that's
can.
what you need, yeah.
Well, Paul was a short guy. I'm a tall guy. It's hard to do heel toe or whatever when the pedal gets too far in, but you're not going to be too much of that going on here, right?
No, probably not.
I would probably remove this and see if we could slide the steering wheel down 2.5, 3 inches. This mirror I'm not going to have to worry too much about because it's not a regular race. It's a hill climb, but it does, for me, impedes my vision a little bit. So maybe if we
it's adjustable, I think we can
push it all the way up.
Yep.
The submarine belt.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up. I usually wear it a little lower. They tell you to get it down around the hips a little
What
lower.
about
Now,
a couple of inches?
You want me to give you millimeters?
Oh, I can do inches.
I can do millimeters. Probably take about 3 inches.
Okay.
Or 75 millimeters out of this bad boy and just sort of get it down.
Yeah.
The seat's pretty good. It looks like it can go back one more, but I don't know how tall an order that is. You feel up to that challenge? Really?
Yeah, I think I'm
Most of the guys I work with are like, I just show up the next day and they're drinking a beer and they're sitting on the car and I go, did we get the seat back? And they go, huh? And I go, what about the steering wheel? Is that forward? Oh, you want, and then they do this one. When we get back to the shop, we'll take care of all of that. I go, back to the shop? We're doing a race today. And yeah, man, we get back though. So we'll be ready for next year. Yeah. In review, we'll get the mirror up.
Yeah.
We'll see about getting the pedals back or down a little bit. We'll see about getting the seat back one more notch.
Yep.
Other than that, I just need a wash and a wax of the car and fluff in the fold of my driver's suit, and we'll be on our way. I'm going to crack a beer and take a nap. You get busy.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff. This is a crazy car.
Well, this was originally dreamt up in a pub on the back of a cigarette packet.
What would be an estimate of what this car would be worth?
People reckon 20 million plus.
Now I feel stupid. I set my beer on it. This is one of my favorite all-time cars.
Yeah.
917. These guys showed up with over 1,000 horsepower and a probably lighter car. This was the fastest race car ever made.